Hello, and welcome to Belting at Windmills, a proud member of the Doof Network, where we're explanting James S. A. Corey's novel series, The Expanse. I'm longtime Expanse fan, Elliot Diebold.
And making my first journey up the well, I'm Reuben Morehouse. This week we're continuing our coverage of Cibola Burn, chapters 30 through to 37. In these chapters, people hide from the storm, hide from a swarm, and then go blind from a life form. It's not a lovely time for the townies and the RCE.
No, yeah, I mean we'll get into it as these chapters go on, but it really is just a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
For our friends this week. I kind of really enjoy the suffering porn angle of it. Of just like it's just like every chapter, it's just like, oh, and also here's something else that's going wrong.
Yeah. I guess in the intro, I don't mention the main thing which goes wrong, which is that this storm also seems to have activated some kind of defense network, which is crazy. Yeah, no, it's funny stuff. Everyone's basically gonna die. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, everyone's gonna die, basically.
pretty much.
Which is I mean, that's kind of been the status quo for a lot of these books, but it wasn't really the status quo for this book up until now, and I kind of forgot about it. You know what I mean? I forgot about, oh yeah, wait, everything's gonna kill us humans.
Yeah, I think that's what I really love about it. It's just like with each one, you're just like, man, coming here was such a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let's get into it because yeah, like it's just going to be fun to talk about how each chapter introduces a new layer of like, oh, we're fucked.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, chapter 30 is Elvies, and it picks up right where we left off, which is like the storm hitting our people in the ruins. And yeah, Elvie and everyone else are basically bunkering down as the world just tears itself to fucking shreds outside. She directly compares it to like the horror of the shuttle landing, where it was like, it had been hit by shrapnel and was kind of out of control. But basically, rather than being over in about 30 seconds, this one goes for 16 hours before the storm dies down enough to just be a regular hurricane where people can yell at each other when they're next to each other.
Yeah. And this is like 16 hours of wild panic vibes, which is
Yes.
crazy, like kind of inconceivable, actually. Like,
Yes.
How could you be in such a panic of thinking you're going to die for 16? It's almost unimaginable. And then no, it doesn't end because she kind of adjusts to it. Yeah, it ends because the storm gets slightly less loud, so she can hear a baby crying, and she's like, okay, maybe there's a chance.
Yeah, like the thing that gets me with this is the kind of like that level of sensory overload, like to be buffeted by the rain or by like the winds or something to the point where it's like deafening you is conceivable, but like 16 hours of it breaks my brain a bit in like understanding what that level of sensory overload would do to your psyche.
Yeah.
But I think also she mentions that like there's so much lightning, it's basically a strobe light.
Yes.
Which, again, like just horrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty horrific, this storm. And it's still going by the time we talk about our final chapters here. I mean,
Yes.
obviously it's downgraded a bit, but it's going the entire time.
Yeah, like that's something I had to force myself to keep in mind as we're reading later chapters is like they're talking about how the storms died down, but it's still like torrential rain.
Yes, exactly. They're like, oh great, we can go outside again, but it's like, yeah, still massively raining and stuff.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, so this is basically the theme of this LV chapter is like time has become a bit of a blur because also this is one of those like nuclear winter dinosaur apocalypse events that's like blocking out the sun because it's still they're still drowned in clouds and stuff, so time starts to lose all meaning. There was that one family that didn't make it last week, so a bunch of people including Amos go to look for them and basically come back and they're like, oh, there's nothing left, like, and we don't mean like the building's foundations are there, like the foundations are gone. It's like a whole new planet. The planet's been reset.
Yeah.
And yeah, I basically Elvie's just she tries to help out where she can. She sort of takes a nap.
Mm,
I think the theme of these chapters is that like people's sleep it isn't really restful anymore. It's just kind of their body conks out for a couple of hours and then they come back. Um, it's more of a biological automated process than like something people look forward to now. Um, yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's a weird vibe. Everyone kind of huddled together in the ruins, and yeah, at this point in these chapters, like just kind of getting the vibe of them all barely holding on.
yeah. Um, and Elvie has a great quote that she says to herself, as she's basically looking at like how awful this is, and she's like, because well,
Mm,
she's like bemoaning that this is like an extinction level event, and then she reminds herself, it's like, no, this is fine. The usual state of nature is recovering from the last disaster.
yeah.
Um, and I mean, I love how in her head she's saying this about the local wildlife, and not herself.
Mm, yeah.
Like, I mean, that basically summarizes what humanity's been going through, or at least Holden and his crew, the last four books.
Yeah, I love little lines like this that are just that feel like they're summaries for the entire series.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When the authors just kind of give you the metaphor.
Mm, yeah,
Okay, I wanted to pull out another quote as well because I didn't
yeah.
understand it. So there's a bit where like Fires and Elvie are talking about like how everyone's basically working together because this disaster's bad enough that like they've all come together. Everyone's finally working together. Um, and Fires is sort of like we're past us and them at this point. Like we're just people in a bad place. Like, and you know what I
Mm,
am, Elvie. And Elvie's like, no, no, you're a good man, Fires. And he's like, I mean, I was a geologist. Like, what were you thinking? And I don't get it.
yeah. Um, I also don't get it. It felt like something we're maybe not meant to know. Um, like it's hinting at Fires having some secret or twist in his background, or like I don't know,
Right.
nothing
Yeah.
like he killed a guy, but something like he stole someone's research at at university or whatever, and Elvie knows about it. I don't know. It feels like this little bit of backstory that we just don't know, or like he's bisexual and Elvie's like a homophobe or something. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Something
yeah,
along those
that's
lines.
no, you're right because that's the vibe it has. I just like, yeah, okay. It was just
Yes.
confusing to me because I was like, I don't know what we're hinting at here, and like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I was very confused by it
okay,
too.
good, good.
Um, but yeah. So I mean, if I was the RCE here and this storm has hit, I'm thinking about this like I'm Mercury. This is the opportunity, right? Like, obviously, everything in the town has been wiped out. So just make a deal where you take the townies to a different planet, a different not fucked up planet, give them some resources and some structures to help them get started or whatever, and just pass the problem on to a different corporation. You know, like if this is your planet at RCE, you go, great, okay, we're going to send you back into the ring and just take another left, and you'll go to this other planet. It looks fine, you know, whatever. Have fun. Doesn't have crazy storms, and you got to start again anyway. So why not start again somewhere else with a bit of a bonus from us?
I mean,
Um,
the biggest issue with that, well, I mean, there's a lot like there's the moral, but like the
mm,
biggest issue with that plan, as far as I see it, is at the moment RCE doesn't really have anything to offer. Like they'd have to go home first to get something to
yeah,
give the
true,
townies,
true, true,
because
true.
their second shuttle worth of supplies is about to get fucking obliterated.
Yeah,
Um,
they can take Elvie. You can take Elvie with you. How about that?
but yeah, no, I think what's funny is I like in some ways this isn't that different to the plan Mercury cooks up with Holden's help.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but
true.
yeah, I think you're right. Like at this point, it is funny how it is a bit like, guys, are you sure you want this planet?
Yeah, exactly. Like this planet has just become not the right place for you guys. I think it's pretty clear. And if RCA wants it, let them have it. Especially if they're like, you can just, you know, there's like thousands of new planets or whatever. Just go to a different one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, just make sure RCE isn't hoping to get the charter for that one and
Yes.
send him out. Yeah.
Although, obviously right now they can't because of the
Well, yeah.
defense grid or whatever. But yeah, one day.
True. Yeah. But yeah, okay. So our next chapter is 31. We're back in Holden's POV, and yeah, this is where like Holden and Amos first step out to kind of see what the storm has done. And
Mm.
honestly, cleansing does feel like an
Yeah.
appropriate word because the landscape has just been reset. I think we even get the impression that like entire like dunes and mountains have basically moved.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, really, the only sign of life is that there's these weird little slugs popping out of the ground, and that's nothing. Um,
Yeah,
and
we'll come back to them later, I
no,
guess.
I really enjoyed the like I missed so my first read, but I really enjoyed that. Like Holden and Amos just like, oh, these weird little slugs, they're annoying. And I was like, oh, guys, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the worst news that Holden gets here is RCE Legal gets back to him is like, we trust our man on the ground. Like, we're going to stand by Mertry.
Yeah. Yeah. Fine. Mertry, yeah. The fact that all the big shot lawyers, I mean, Mertry said to Havelock a few chapters ago, like, what is he going to do? Like, the lawyers might make a decision, but they're so far away, it doesn't matter. And it turns out the answer is the RC lawyers are just going to be like, yeah, we don't care about this.
Yeah, it's an unfortunately like understandable corporate position to just be like, sorry, but like we sent a guy out there, we're just gonna have to like go. We're too far away to really weigh in. Um, and Mertry is good at coming across like he's like this is his whole thing. This is why he's such a fun villain. Is he manages to come across like he is respecting and playing by the rules. Um, so yeah, I kind of unfortunately get why this has happened. It's just so frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the book is telling Holden there's not going to be any easy ways out of this situation. You know what I
Yeah, yeah.
mean?
Kind of the theme of the week.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
so yeah, Holden and Amos make it back to camp, and they discover the slugs are more of a problem than they appear. If you touch their slime, it pretty much instantly paralyzes and kills. Uh,
Yay.
so yeah, and I think from this point on, the book just starts referring to them as death slugs.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, basically, the situation is now so bad that Holden goes and finds Mertry, and he's like, "Hey, let's just get everyone off this planet." And Mertry's like, "Yes, yes, let's do it."
Yeah. Yeah. So Mertry's on side. That's good. But I mean, obviously, Mertry is going to be easily convinced to get the townies off planet because
Yeah.
once they're off planet, they're not getting back on planet, obviously.
Yeah, I do love how we see this from Holden's perspective, and he's like, "Mertry, we're gonna have to get everyone off," and like. Mertry's kind of been a slime ball about it, but he's like, "Yeah, I agree." And there's just like no part of me was like, "Oh, okay." Like Mertry is now understanding everyone has to work together. It's like, no, he's cooking something.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I had this reaction of like, Mertry follows the book, and the RCE handbook probably does say that in a humanitarian crisis like this, he has to act. But like any opportunity for him to, abuse that to his own end, he's obviously going to take pretty quickly. So I suspect that's what's going on here. And that opportunity is he's just going to take all the townies off planet, and they're just not going to be able to come back down.
Yeah, exactly. He's just going to refuse to bring him back. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, because in terms of by the letter of the law, like, it's gonna be like, what are you going back to? Like, you have nothing there.
Yeah.
And we'll get to later in this week's chapters where he has his own plans on that front for RCE.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, let's go up to orbit. We've got chapter 32.
Mm.
We're in Havelock's head, and this is where nothing's going wrong. So basically, Havelock's just trying to keep busy as they wait to find out if everyone survived or not. He does he does get some distraction from his chief engineer, who it turns out has basically been listening to future Joe Rogan. And or no, actually no, it's future Alex Jones, isn't it? But yeah, like he
Yeah, I guess so.
his chief engineer is like, the problem we're having is that's not Holden. He was replaced by an alien doppelganger. And even Havelock the human sponge is like, that's ridiculous.
No, but I like that the kind of sentiment behind this could be read as like, Holden came in as a mediator, and he's like kind of, interplanetarily famous for like all these adventures he's been on. And since he's been here, he hasn't really been able to solve anything. He's kind of just been a passenger as shit has gotten worse and worse. And so the reaction of like, well, Holden's a interplanetary space hero. This obviously can't be Holden because he's just some dude he's trying to hang out in town and not really doing much. He must be an alien doppelganger instead.
Yeah.
And also, you know, let's not forget Holden does have this kind of dark passenger who can mimic humanity in his brain. Like
Yeah.
he,
No, like I
it's
think that's
not
what's
that
funny.
far off from reality.
Yeah, and like it is him coming here that's allowed the proto molecule access to the network, which is
Yeah,
causing all of this. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like I think that's what's funny about it, is these conspiracy theories. You're like, this is laughably wrong, but
But
also
it's also
like,
kind of correct.
like yeah,
Yeah, we obviously, because we're inside his head, we suspect he's not fully an alien doppelganger. But if we weren't inside his head, it wouldn't be too hard to be like, well, is this true? Is the protomolecule just fully, simulating him or whatever? Like maybe.
yeah. And look, I guess it's also like, I mean, he's not doing any of it intentionally, but yeah, like he the proto molecule's riding him around and doing all this shit. It's the essence of the conspiracy theory is kind of on point, and Holden's just not really proactive enough to have stopped it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I guess I really enjoyed, like, this book came out in 2014, and I think the level to which they nailed people reacting to dumb conspiracy theory podcasts is impressive, because I feel like that was still the early days for
Mm,
that. Dumb conspiracy podcasts have really blossomed in the last decade, and this book's 12 years old. So like they were
mm.
really a bit ahead of the curve. Like it wasn't unheard of back then, but um this I feel like this segment lands a lot harder in 2026 than it would have in 2014, you know?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. True. I liked at the very start of this chapter. Uh, Havelock's in his office, and Naomi calls out any word, but in the narration, it's any word the prisoner asked, and it takes him a few kind of paragraphs before he refers to Naomi by name, and I'm like, is that like is that just the active dehumanization that we know Havelock is a bit susceptible, kind of taking root, or what's
Yeah.
going on here? Because
I
they
think
seem to
what's
be pretty friendly throughout the rest of the chapter, actually. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's really funny is it's clear by the end of this week's chapters, Naomi is basically Havelock's only friend.
Mm,
Um, he's gone the full Chucky from Pale, where like basically
yes.
his prisoner enemy is his only friend.
Mm,
And he's maybe starting to realize that by the end of the week, but we'll get there. Um, anyway, yeah, this is where Murtry actually finally calls in and is like, "Good news, Havelock. Not only did we survive, but we're evacuating everyone, including the squatters. So they're all going to come onto our ship and be at our mercy. And I love this plan, actually. Holden's a fucking idiot. Um, Havelock forgets that he's meant to put up the privacy wall, and Naomi shouldn't be hearing this.
mm.
Um,
Whoops.
I mean, given what we know about the privacy wall, it wouldn't have really made a
It wouldn't
difference
have made a
anyway. But
difference, yeah.
um, like I guess then he could have said he tried. I don't know.
Mm, yeah.
But yeah, basically, Naomi and Havelock kind of do a debrief on this conversation with Murtry, and Naomi doesn't like Murtry much.
Mm. Who would have thought? Um,
Yeah, I mean, we've got to call out this one bit where like
yeah.
Murtry is like shitting on Holden. I think he's calling him like Pope Holden and saying what an idiot he is. And like Havelock knows Naomi's sitting there listening to this on the side, and he's like, Havelock winced, thinking about how callous Murtry's words would sound to someone who didn't know him.
Yeah. A perfect quote. It jumped out to me as well. Of just like, Havelock, you're so close, man. Just a little bit more reflection on that, and I think you'll have a real breakthrough.
um, but
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, this is where things start to get fun. Up in orbit, Havelock goes to send some supplies down in the non-bomb shuttle.
Mm.
But they don't make it, because it turns out these 13 remaining moons are weapons, and they shoot down the shuttle for getting too close to the planet.
Yeah.
And then also the ship, the reactor on the ship has also been shut down at the same time.
Yeah, which is fun. We're back in, the proto molecule breaks all the rules of reality mode, which is nice. Haven't been here for a while, but it's good to be back here. Yeah, some kind of dust storm defense grid plus moon lasers is cool. And then yeah, somehow I guess we find this out later, but like the reactors have just like been turned off because fusion doesn't work anymore, seemingly. So that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, let's get straight into chapter 33, like the
Mm,
Baja one, where we get
yeah,
more info on this because it's just so fun.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, on in a nearby orbit, we hit up the Rocinante. Their reactor is down too. Turns out everyone's is. Yeah, basically the planetary defenses have not only shot down the shuttle, but decided that they don't want any more fusion.
Mm,
So now all the ships in orbit are basically on a ticking clock as their orbits slowly decay and they head towards the planet because battery backups are not going to allow them to stay in orbit, especially if they're full of lithium.
mm, yeah, yeah. So that's troubling. Everyone's gonna die. So yay.
No, I do it because it's like as bad as things were on the planet, it was still like, but it's fine because we'll just get
Because we've
everyone
got
to
the ships,
evacuate.
exactly.
And it's like, okay, no, they're possibly even more fucked than we are. They're going to die first at this rate.
Mm, yeah,
Um, so yeah, I do really enjoy like this caught me so off guard my first read, which is so funny because every book has kind of been defined by the proto-molecule at some point just being like, I don't like physics, I'm changing it.
mm,
Um, and I just sort of forgot it was going to do that until this happened, and then you're like, oh yeah, okay, fusion, yeah, no, fine, like the way stars work, that doesn't need to happen. That's cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I like the thought of like. I think that's what really made it land for me. Is like, does this mean the sun's gonna go out? I think is that's maybe in a few chapters time. That's
Yes.
later in Holden's chapter, but that really made it land for me of just how crazy this is. Of like, yeah, wait, hold on, what?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like Holden talking to Miller, and he's like, "Now this is only on this planet, right? Like the sun's not going to go out, right? Like,
Yeah,
um, yeah. It's so fun, and just like it's such a funny problem to throw at the ships as well because like just disabling the aspect of physics they rely on to
yeah.
work. It's like so now what? Like,
Yeah,
like
there's literally nothing they can do, which is
yeah,
very funny. Yeah, it does take it from like just people on the ground are struggling because they don't have enough food and the storm and whatever, to like, oh, everyone's just cooked.
yeah. But yeah, anyway, so then Baggio and Alex, well, it's mostly Alex, calls Havelock and he's like,
Mm,
"Hey, you should let Naomi out. She's like a genius, and we need those right now." Um, and Havelock says no.
yeah, no, I think this will work though. I think just seeing like where it would be fun for this book to go. I think having Naomi get out and have to work with Havelock to fix the Israel. It's just like a very cool. I can imagine it being a very fun set of a few chapters. So I think it's going to happen, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean that's sort of where we leave off here. Like Baggio's having a lot of thoughts about what the concept of home meant for him and his family after
Mm,
years of being refugees after Ganymede.
yeah,
And because well, basically that home is no longer there. I mean, it physically is, but emotionally, the slate has been wiped clean.
yeah,
Basically, what happened on Ganymede, really.
yeah.
But yeah, and then we've got another interlude from the investigator. Just as we are grasping how fucked everyone is. Um, so it reaches out, it reaches out, it reaches out 113 times a second. It reaches out,
Yep.
and it finds some new stuff. It actually finds a power
Yay.
source, which is pretty exciting. The power source then goes away for some reason. That's weird.
Huh?
Yeah, and I mean, I really love how like just throwing this in from the proto molecules perspective, like, oh, power, oh, it went away. That's strange. Oh well, I don't care. I'm an algorithm. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you
So,
fuckwit, you just blew up half the fucking planet. Like,
is this power source the planet detonation, or is the power source the reactors? I was unclear on exactly what this was referring to.
my understanding from what we've read so far is that like it found like the planet's reactor,
Right.
turned it on, and then that's what blew up.
Right.
and
Okay.
that's part of why the automated defenses have
Turned
disabled
off
like
reactors
fusion.
as a
Yeah.
whole. Yeah.
Which like honestly pretty reasonable like
Yeah. Yeah.
response.
Yeah. Totally fair reaction.
But yeah, my understanding, my understanding of this is the investigator reached out, found the planetary fusion, was like, oh hell yeah, it blew up, and it's just like, oh, that
Whoops.
would have been nice. And
Yeah.
meanwhile, humanity is just fucking like destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so the proto molecule is still kind of trying to figure out what to do about these like cysts of dead
The
space.
unknown zones.
Yeah. So it spins up a couple of investigators, but they keep like breaching confinement, so it has to keep killing them. Um,
Which is so great to learn that Miller has been like rebooted so many times.
yeah, it spins him up like like a fucking like Linux process, right? Like it's just like
Yeah.
I'll spin one up and it's like not kill it. Like it's
Yeah.
like me fucking beta testing software.
Yeah,
Um,
the investigator clearly has as loose a grasp on how Docker containers work as I do, and that's saying something.
um, but yeah, anyway, it basically reaches the point where the investigator uh, realizes that the pattern has broken and
Yeah.
starts to exceed its boundary conditions, and the protomolecule lets it because it's getting fucking desperate, basically.
Yeah,
Um,
which is great. I like it's us seeing the reason why or how Miller is kind of getting more and more leniency and
yes,
humanity, I guess, right?
yeah,
And right now he's not allowed to, I guess, like turn his investigations too much towards his creator, the protomolecule. But it seems like that line is gonna get blurrier and blurrier, and that's gonna let Miller be more and more human and have more and more like control and agency, I
yeah.
guess, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, like we're basically seeing from the protomolecule's perspective that like it sort of sees that the investigator is kind of testing and breaking down some boundaries and it's just letting him and it's like, okay, like, yeah, we don't know exactly where this is gonna end up, but it's fucking fun.
Yeah,
Um yeah, and and then basically the investigator is still towing I mean, I think that's what the fun thing from this as well is like you can tell the investigator is still towing the line, like it's mostly focusing on the cis
mm,
because that like that's part of why it gets the leniencies. As long as it is theoretically staying on task, the protomolecule is going to let it keep doing its thing.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, the investigator is just kind of looking at this system, being like, how do you like figure out something that is unknowable?
yeah. Great question.
Yeah, exactly.
Good luck, Miller. Figure it out.
And yeah, speaking of, we jump into chapter 34. We're back with Holden, and Holden has isolated himself so he can talk to Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically he wants to see if Miller can help him solve this, planetary defenses are blowing up all of our supplies problem.
Yep.
Um, and
And the
Miller
answer
kind,
is no.
yeah, I mean, Miller does eventually posit a theory, which is you could maybe drop them with parachutes, and as long as they're like low energy, maybe it'll let them
Mm,
through. Basically, like using the slow zone logic of just be under a threshold and it won't give a shit.
yeah.
Um, so Holden puts mercury on it, and because this is like basic life supplies, even mercury's like, cool, let's do it.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm kind of curious. I guess, do you think this is some of the boundary breaking we were seeing in the interlude? Like Miller just literally considering other systems and how to break past them.
Yeah. I don't know. I
Like
guess.
I wonder, like, because this is obviously, I think the fact that Miller has some of the freedom to do this is because of those boundaries breaking. But I think it's
Yes.
fun to consider that like this conversation is literally what we were seeing from the protomolecules perspective of where like
Yeah, I guess so. But because Miller had already kind of talked about the dead zones and stuff before, but I guess talking about like how little power he has over the algorithm, maybe is part of the thing that it didn't want his eyes turning too much towards him. So it's possible.
yeah. Oh, and also just like considering the planetary defenses and like holes in that system feels
Yeah,
like it's
sure.
off task. Even though, again, if he had to like file a report with the protomolecule, it's like it's to get Holden on side so I can get him to the fucking cysts. Like,
Yeah, you're right.
um,
It's not a direct. It's more indirect. So maybe it is a
yeah,
bit more leniency there. Yeah, I gotta say, for somebody who kind of clearly understands the immense challenges the protomolecule brings, Holden doesn't seem to care much about like understanding it, does he? Like, it's nice that Miller's here to kind of point out to him that these two things are actually linked, obviously. So maybe pay attention.
Yeah, I think it's like this weird thing where Holden is so anti the proto molecule that like he almost just yeah, like because it's like, yeah, I agree. It's sort of like know your enemy, but then also everything about knowing your enemy is coming from like you said, a Docker container instance of your friend made by the enemy. So like it's kind of compromised. So maybe that's
Mm,
why he isn't too keen to learn about the ins and outs from Miller, except when he needs to. But yeah, like I agree. It's like God, I feel like I'd be asking Miller so many more questions about being a wrench in the machine. Like I actually really love this metaphor Miller comes up with, where it's like Holden's like, can't you do something? He's like, this is the equivalent of the Rocinante's fired a missile, and you're talking to the wrench. Like
mm,
what do you want me to do about missiles, man? Like I turn I turn cogs. Like
yeah.
I'm not a part of that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, he doesn't have much power, but the power he does have, Holden, is telling you where you need to go to figure this shit out. So do it.
Yeah. I also Alden has this great little quote where he's like he's kind of mad at how ineffective talking to Miller has been. He's like, it was less fun being the chosen one and a prophet when the gods were violent and capricious and their spokesman was insane and powerless.
Mm,
And this line just really jumped out to me because I was like, that describes pretty much every mythology I can think of. Like a lot. That's Greek. I know Polynesian's the same. I mean, God, even Job in the Bible kind of went through this. Like, that's just what being a chosen one and prophet is in most mythologies. Holden, like, you got to read them better.
mm,
It's never a good time.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Good luck.
anyway, so Miller and Holden do eventually make a deal. As soon as things calm down enough, Holden will go north and investigate one of these dead spots, in the hopes that that will also shut down the security forces. Because, like you said, Miller was the one who needed to point out that maybe these two things overlap.
Mm,
Um, anyway, basically, right after they're like, "Yep," as soon as things calm down, I'll be on my way. LV shows up and he's like, "Hey, Holden, just an FYI, in a couple of days, we're all going to be blind."
mm, yeah. Another thing, great.
What I love, like I really appreciated how well this is flagged as well in the novel. Like this kid's eye infections were brought up so much in the first half of the story, and then like even when LV finally investigated it more, it was like, oh, well, they're in the clouds, so but it's dry here, that's fine. And then we get torrentially rained on for a couple of days, and it's sort of like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like,
Mm,
obviously, this was going to be a problem now that we've all been drenched in rain for days when the clouds are fucking green with this organism that we know can infect us. Like, it's such a funny twist because it's so obvious in retrospect that this was going to happen.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, this has been built up for a while, obviously, with the kid. But yeah, no, it's just fun to be like, oh, great, here's another thing.
Yeah, like I remember a few weeks ago you mentioned in one of our episodes that you're like, I kind of hope we don't get any kind of alien weirdness, and I just want to like learn more about the human side of this conflict. And I fully agree with that sentiment, but also the sheer ridiculous like scale and level to how bad this situation keeps getting almost like does it this is an acceptable alternative to me. I'd happily read the book where it was just about RCE and the squatters fighting on an alien planet without alien shenanigans, but also if you're going to do alien shenanigans, I do love that it's just so ridiculous how many problems we've thrown at the people like all at
Mm,
once.
yeah, yeah, um, yeah. What are they meant to do about this? It's like all unsolvable. So because it's all so kind of unsolvable in my mind, I'm just like, well, the solution is Holden, forget about all this shit and just go deal with the thing Miller wants you to go deal with. Because everything else here you can't really do anything about.
Yeah, no, it's the same. Like it's kind of the same as in a Baldur's Gate with the ring space, where it's kind of like, sorry, but like the only way we can solve this is with more proto-molecule shit now. Like we like Holden, you got to go to the base in the middle. Like
Mm,
it's kind of what worked last time, and I yeah, like you're right. Like there's no other way out of this.
yeah.
Um, I also like I guess speaking of like a Baldur's Gate, I remember there was like when Bull was like the doctor kept being like, Bull, like when are you gonna like rest and let me like work on your spine?
Mm,
And Bull kept being like, oh, just as soon as like everybody stops getting in fights and being ridiculous. And the doctor was like, oh, good. So as soon as humans stop being humans, like that's fine.
yeah.
And that like it feels like that's echoed here, where Miller and Holden are like, yeah, we'll get on the thing just as soon as everyone's lives aren't in like immediate danger. And like these chapters keep going on. It's like, when the fuck is that going to be? Like Miller and Holden, like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like
There's going to be no chance for that ever, right? It's just not going to happen.
the point at which everyone here's lives aren't in immediate danger is the point where they're already dead. Is the thing.
Yeah.
So unless Holden's going to be the last one left, which actually, I mean, we'll get to his immunity to the blindness, but like I guess there's a chance. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Hmm. Yeah.
But anyway, let's cut over to the other half of Elvie telling Holden about the blindness. We see it from Elvie's point of view, and I mean, basically, it's just the same conversation except way more horny.
Hmm.
Um, I guess not necessarily just horny, but like smitten. But like she's down so bad. And so somehow manages to make a conversation about how the new disaster is everyone going blind, also about how Holden is incredibly sexy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Listen,
so
Reuben, we got to cherish this while we can. We're about to
I know
lose
we're about to
ridiculous
lose this
horny Elvie.
forever. Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of glad.
Oh,
I'm
I
ready
know.
for LV to pick herself back up, I guess.
I'm not going. So yeah, like to give you a bit of insight into the fandom, like Cibola Burn is a very contentious novel within the fandom about whether it's good or not. And
Yeah.
I want to talk about that more as we hit the end. But like a very big common complaint is how insufferable Elvie is in the first half of the book. Um,
Mm,
and I do see what people are talking about, but also it's very funny. So I like, yeah, I don't know. I don't hate it as much as some people do.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, I also, I guess, before we move on to LV, finally getting over this, I like that like LV's sort of considering the rain, and she's like, it's hard to believe that every drop of this contains something that would colonize her body the way that humanity had New Terra. Um,
Mm,
and this is just another one of those fun like the authors spelling out the metaphor for us moments, because it is very funny that this stuff just infects your eyes and like not the rest of your body. Um,
mm.
and it's just colonizing and fighting over this one tiny part of the human body, and it's like, hey, that is what we did to New Terra.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't set off any fucking fusion reactors.
Yeah, well, yeah, true. Yeah, no, I think the fact that like it's not like harmful to your eyes, it's just kind of building up and blocking light and like becoming this like big mass of settlers in your eyes. It's a very fun like version of how this could go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really nice. It's
Well,
like
and yeah, I guess like we've been seeing like the first half of this book has been talking a lot about the way like humans are just kind of immediately like, oh, free real estate, and like
mm,
taking it up and like basically recreating Earth on it.
yeah,
Um, and so it's very funny to point out how similar that behavior is to this fucking alien bacteria. It's not even a bacteria, but I don't have a better word for it.
yeah.
But just like this alien organism that's just like, hey, eyes remind me of clouds. I live here now, and it's like that is actually just what humans did with New Terra, and I think it's really funny to point that out.
Mm,
Like, yeah, I don't know. Our patterns really aren't that different to a fucking like single-celled organism. It's just a really funny call out.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yes, getting back to LV, she's unable to do any work because she just keeps getting distracted by how amazing Holden is in her head. And she realizes there's only one way to get around this. She needs to go and confess her feelings to him, and just like even if he rejects her, it'll be out there, and then she can focus on her work.
Mm.
And so she goes to do this, but Fires is there, and he's like, "Hey, that's a fucking stupid plan." Um, I particularly enjoy the part of his speech where he's like, "This planet has been defined by humans coming here and repeating mistakes we've made in the past.
Yeah.
Please don't add this to the list. Like, please don't add weirdly horny confessions to the list. Like, that's like the one we have going for us right now."
Mm.
Um, and yeah, he basically he doesn't solve the problem of Elvie's horniness. He just redirects it to himself. And it works. She basically wakes up after the sex and is just like immediately like competent again.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty funny how quickly and immediately this works, right? Like straight away. It is basically straight away. She wakes up and she's like, "Oh, I've just had an idea. Let me get back to work." And you're like, "Oh, was that it, Elvie? Oh my god. Okay. Well, welcome back," or whatever. Like,
Yeah, no, post nut clarity saves lives.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, I
This
think,
really made me laugh.
yeah, I mean, I think like it works from a kind of thematic thing of like she was avoiding that side of her as like a primate, right? Like she'd
Mm.
kind of been working off the assumption she could just avoid needing to engage with that part of herself, like as somebody who is like romantically and sexually active.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, basically, like Fayez was the one who was just like, "Hey, you're a dumb monkey. You got to do some dumb monkey shit, because that's what that part of your brain is asking for." And she gives in, and then is actually able to function as the other part of her humanity. Like it makes sense, but it's also just fucking funny that like I don't know. There's this like the way she thinks about Holden immediately after fucking Fayez is just it's such whiplash. It's so funny.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. It it is very fun.
Um, but yeah, let's jump back upstairs for a bit. We're back with Havelock, and he's basically having his own go at mediating. He's got the racist chief engineer on one hand and Captain Marwick on the other, basically arguing about what they should or shouldn't do to the ship to respond to the fact that fusion doesn't work anymore. Um, he kind of gets them to find a middle ground,
Mm.
assuming both of them do their jobs. I mean, we'll see. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, he also sends a short message home because he's getting bombarded with requests from comment by the news. Um, and he sends like a blanket one that he thinks has no information. And Naomi's like, "No, no, 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 no. I've seen this shit before. This is how you become the face of the disaster." Like, so yeah, I guess between mediating and then now becoming famous, he's just doing a reverse Holden.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah, I don't know. Havelock needs to break free from Murtry here.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
he you can see him diverging and becoming more aligned to Naomi and Holden with things like this, and you just kind of like you're so he's close. He's
He's getting
close.
there. Yeah.
By the end of this chapter, he's very close, I think.
Yeah, it might actually be the next one. We got like two Havelocks back to back, or not back to back, but just a little LV sandwiched in the middle. But
Yeah. Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
yeah.
No. Yeah. Well, anyway,
Am I wrong? I am
I
wrong.
don't.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah,
It is just this
I
one.
think
Okay.
it's this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. Like he's definitely getting there by the end of this chapter. But yeah, I kind of love that part of the in here that Naomi gets to take advantage of is how Havelock is sleepwalking into a James Holden esque situation, and she's like, "I know how to help dumb Earthers through this nonsense. Like I've been here
Mm,
before."
yeah.
There's also, I guess, one part of this conversation about all this that I want to talk about is like, Havelock sort of implies that Holden gets off a bit on being famous, and
Mm,
Naomi's like, he actually doesn't like at all. Like I've known men that would, but like not Jim.
mm,
Um, and I guess this jumped out to me because, like, in my head, the family of the Rossi is just the four of them, and I was like, well, she wouldn't be talking about Amos or Alex. I don't think they care for it either. So like this must be some insight into Naomi's past because like none of the crew of the Rocinante would get off on the fame.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I don't know who it is that she's referring to, but yeah, I don't think it's anyone on our classic crew.
No, I mean, yeah, and yeah. Oh, it's Prax. She meant
Yeah, it must be Prax.
Prax or Miller. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so as is typical for a Havelock chapter, we get a call with Murtry, who's already basically blind. Um,
Mm.
but he's got a cunning new plan. They're gonna build like a big shelter and put the RCE flag on it. So basically, even if they all die, he'll have done his job, and like RCE will own the planet because they've got a hut with their name on it there, and that's how that
Mm.
works. I mean, the unfortunate thing is, I'm like, that probably is how it would work. Um,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
yeah, basically, Murtry's plan is essentially, hey, we're all going to die, but we can at least like go out with holding the company name high. And Havelock gets a little freaked out by this, and Naomi's actually there to comfort him.
Yeah. Holding the company name high. Who gives a shit about that? Yeah, no. I like that Mertry has gone blind. I think that's going to be a really fun beat. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's probably not going to mellow him out anything, but I do think it'd be very fun to see whatever the fuck happens.
Yeah, I mean, like uh as the one person in the world who enjoyed like the Jason Momoa show, where
Mm,
everyone was blind except for a few people.
yeah.
um I continue to be very interested by the idea of like a society where like humanity just has lost like one sense or something.
Mm,
And you're right, like it's just fun to like how do these like natural tendencies change when you take away like what is for a lot of us like a very primary sense.
mm,
um yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna be fun to see how Murtry and others respond to losing their sight.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. I really think seeing Mertry specifically losing his sight is going to be a
Yeah.
really interesting development for his character. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah, because up until now he's been quite unflappable.
Hmm.
And is this going to finally put a crack in that facade?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I guess speaking of Murtry and his image, Naomi has this little bit where she prods Havelock, and she's like, "Well, the guy you look up to as a father just said he's getting ready to die. Like, how does that make you feel?" And Havelock's like,
Yeah.
"What are you talking about? I don't look up to him like a father." And Naomi's like, "Oh, all right."
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like the I really appreciate the sort of passive aggressive move of not arguing against or for, just
Yeah.
sort of being like, "Oh, okay, like I don't really give a shit." Like,
Yeah. The idea has been raised. Now
yeah,
it'll sit in Havelock's mind.
like, like again, Naomi is the dastardly fucking hero of this book series, and
Yeah.
she doesn't own it, but like stuff like she's a fucking manipulator, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very happy with Naomi and how she's playing things in this scenario. I think she's doing very well. Um,
What? Sorry, I think it's funny because she's not necessarily being
well,
like
she's not being manipulative.
well,
Yeah.
she is, but in the sense that she's just being nice. Like
Yes. Yes.
like I remember we had conversations about this in Power. It's like it's arguably still manipulation, but it's manipulation in like she's just treating him with respect and kind of manipulating the fact that she's the only one doing that. But like also, she just is. So it's like it's not a bad thing, but like
Yeah.
it's funny how just being the only person in someone's life who is treating them with respect still kind of comes across as manipulative because you're pushing them to your side just by being the only decent person to them.
Yeah. Yeah. I yes, and I think it's working to the sense that I
Yeah.
think Havelock is like either having or pretty close to having his breakthrough of realizing that he's not kind of on the right side here, or he's being pushed to be on the wrong side here. So yeah, I think that's good. I'm glad.
Yeah. Um, but anyway, let's round out this week's chapters with 37. We're back down with Elvie, and yeah, as we said, like she's kind of back. She's got her head in the game, so she's trying to find a cure for blindness while also going blind. I think Fires makes the joke of the blind leading the blind at some point. It's just had to happen.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, basically she's struggling because everyone's fucking struggling because this is still a nightmare. Like we're constantly getting little references to like flooding, and the death slugs are still trying to encroach in on their caves, and also everyone's going blind and they don't really have any food.
Mm,
So it's just it's not the ideal lab conditions that Elvie was gunning for earlier in this novel.
yeah. Yeah. No, it's very much not. But people are kind of, figuring it out. That we've got death slug patrols going around and plucking them and flicking them out the window every so often or whatever. It's working, you know.
Yeah, yeah, it's not a good long term sustainable situation they found themselves in, but yeah, they're holding the worst of it at bay.
Mm.
Um, I really enjoyed the humor of Carol shows up to ask Elvis some questions, and the narration goes, Carol Chiwewe stood in the arch that passed for a doorway. She looked tired and blurry and vaguely green.
Vaguely
it's,
green. It's very funny.
it's, just, it's such a like, yeah, funny way to remind us that like how fucked Elvie and everyone is right now. Like, she looks tired, and also Elvie's not doing so great herself.
Mm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, Carol does come with some good news. Or actually, I think it's Lucia who might maybe gives it to her. But there is actually a person who is immune to the blinding.
And $50 if you can guess who the fuck it is. The main
Yeah.
character of the universe, of course.
Holden has once again somehow been fucking chosen. It'll never stop being funny. Um, but yeah, anyway, so Elvie goes up and she's like, "Hey, we need to talk." And he's like, "I really don't want to." And she's like, "No, no, no, this is serious." And then
Yeah.
Holden goes and makes it fucking weird. Like he makes it all about like her having a crush on him, and like she's just here for science, and why is he doing this, making it weird? Like he's stuck in the past. Elvie hasn't had a crush on him for like 2 hours. Like what? He's been fucking weird.
Mm. Yeah. No, I think it's very funny that he's like, okay, fine, let's address this.
I the funniest part to me is like Elvie doesn't really give like I'm sorry, but from Holden's perspective, this is such a reasonable reaction to be like, look, Elvie, I get it, but like I'm in a and then she's just like, what the hell, dude? Like I want to talk to you about like the eye infection that's more important. And it's like, okay, like yes, but also like, have you seen yourself the rest of this novel? Like he's totally being fair, and
Mm.
Elvie doesn't give him any like, no, that's reasonable. I was being ridiculous up until now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like she makes it out like he's the weird one for bringing that up, and it's like, no, sorry, like, have you seen yourself? Like, yeah, I just love how Holden gets absolutely blasted for, in my opinion, what is a reasonable attempt to handle it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's fun. Hey, can we talk about Holden not going blind though? Conceptually, let's talk
Yeah,
about that for a second. So, that, why is he immune to these eye slugs?
well, he's the Messiah. I
Because
mean,
he's the
that's
main character of the universe, obviously. But no, I mean, like the kind of crazy version of the idea is that like Miller or the protomolecule stuff that's inside him somehow is inoculating him. Either Miller is actively blasting these eye parasites, or they recognize him as whatever one of their own, so they're steering clear. Or like maybe they're from the school of life on this planet that isn't protomolecule related, but they recognize that he's protomolecule, so they steer clear.
yeah.
But
I think that would have come up if they were from that tree of life. I think LV specifically mentions their bichiral, which is
right,
the
yeah.
native. What
Yeah.
is native the right? Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, but no, what I think it is we got a thing about the cancer meds being sent down. Either his cancer meds also inoculate people from these things, or his tumors are somehow protecting him. I don't know. One of those two, I think, is probably the case. It would be very funny if it was Miller just being like, yeah, pew, 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 blasting all the eye bugs. But no, I think it's probably the cancer meds somehow, is my prediction.
Well, yeah. I sorry. I know I'm getting too in the weeds. I'm just trying to understand why cancer meds would work on something from a whole different trip. But I guess it's the same logic as the death slugs, where it's just like a weird interaction.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't
Is it?
know.
Well,
I
that's
don't.
honestly like I just like this is a weird thing about medicine, right? It's like the amount of like medical breakthroughs that come from like we found a new enzyme in a mushroom
Yeah,
and it does this to like human like brain, like magic mushrooms even, where it's like
yeah,
you
yeah,
take
sure.
like and it's like it's fucking wild that something we diverged from evolutionary like billions of years ago
Mm.
has just developed to like
Has done its own thing for those
yeah,
years.
and then if it enters our brain, it like fucks with like very specifically our neuroreceptors because
Yeah.
like we diverged long enough that like our cells all kind of were using the same receptor system, so it makes sense they're compatible. But like it's just so funny to me that like a mushroom that doesn't have a neural system, it just invented its own system and was like by chance got these receptors to interact with it. And it's like, oh, that's the same one we picked for some brain shit. So now if we eat you, we have
Mm.
hallucinations. And like that's bonkers, but I guess in the same way that like, yeah, oh, if you touch the slime from this slug, it instantly kills you. Like um it's just so funny how billions of years, or in this case, completely separate trees of life can like just overlap in ways that produce these weird, unpredictable effects. It's so fun.
Mm.
Like this really is just an alien extension on how fucking nature works, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. Now I don't know how cancer meds work, but cancer is like mutated cells. So presumably, what cancer meds do is they move through your body and hunt down any cells that look mutated and blast them. And that's probably what means that they're dealing with these eye slugs. You take the pills, they go into your eyes. The pills look around, they see the weird mutated things in your eyes, and they blast them. So it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, but that's also that you've just described the immune system, which we did
Mm.
get told people with the infection have an elevated white blood count,
Yeah, yeah. So
which
the
I know
immune
you.
system's trying to do it, but they
Yeah,
need
okay.
the cancer meds to give them a little pep in their step.
Yeah, look, I mean, that makes us. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not good enough at immunology to
It makes
argue.
sense. Doctors, sound off in the comments. It makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. I also like there's a bit where they first find out that Holden's immune, but we haven't had it spelled out for us that it's Holden. But like, Elvie's like, oh, will this person consent to like me testing on them? And
Yeah.
Fires just sort of chimes in with like, do we care? Like if they
Yeah.
consent? And
Yeah.
honestly, I think I'm with him on this. Like, this is one of those situations where if the person was like, no, I don't consent, you'd be like, sorry, we're gonna do it anyway. I think
Mm.
like
Yeah.
generally I'm pro consent, but this is a situation where like if one person who was immune was like, I just don't really feel like it. I think the rest of them would be justified in kind of going around that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, anyway, LV gets really in the zone at this point. She's solving biological problems. That's what she does. She's not horny. Um, it's going great. Fires kind of officially asks her out, basically, just checking, hey, this isn't like a one night stand, right? Like, I'm actually really into
Mm.
you. And this is something that I think the only person on the planet who wasn't aware of it was Elvie.
Yep.
Um,
She obviously is hopeless, but she's getting better, so that's good.
but yeah, I mean, she ends the chapter saying okay, which is not as affirmative a yes to asking someone out as you want, but like is not a no. So um, that's nice.
Mm. Yeah. Yay.
um, I actually part of what I really like about the back half of this chapter is like Elvie sort of like she gets in the zone, right, where like part of what she's thinking about is like, oh, like I'm kind of the best of the best, and up until now I've been doing sample collection. Um, but it's really like she is like a genius biologist, and like she kind of almost finds her happy place a bit, even amongst all of the bullshit this planet is going through right now. She does kind of find her happy space in doing what she does best, which is like studying organic systems.
Mm.
Um, and like that's just like a really fun kind of character moment for her, and also it like from a even from a bureaucratic standpoint, it's like you send the best of the best for when shit go. Like this is exactly why you send an LV, right? Is like up until now she had just been doing data collection and had been under her skill set, but now when the shit hits the fan, you need you need the best of the best, and this is why you have your Elvies. Like it just feels like a really good like, oh yeah, this is exactly why people like Elvie were sent out here. Like I just love it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she's finally got more active purposes in the story to deal with all this weird life that just keeps fucking with everybody. That's why we
Yeah,
get so many LV chapters this fortnight, right?
yeah, yeah.
She's active.
But it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It just it's sort of this like, okay, yeah, like we have been seeing her not really doing what she does best, which made sense why you'd send the scientific expedition out here and have them kind of doing grunt work. But like also you send people like Elvie, so when she's needed, she can step up, and yeah, it's just
Yeah,
cool. Yeah. Anyway, that's our chapters this week.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. I'm excited next week to see. I mean, surely things can't get worse from here, you know? Like it's all
Well,
uphill.
yeah, I feel like despite the fact that things get worse basically every single chapter this week, the chapters this week have felt like um, they're still in this pattern of like waiting for the other shoe to drop a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um, and I don't know what that shoe is going to be. My guess is that it's going to be when Holden and Miller go to the void zone site using the train network, which we didn't talk about, but there's a weird underground train network. What the hell?
Also, I love because we had a comment from a listener a few weeks ago that was talking about like just kind of referencing how like it was potentially an interesting insight into the nature of the proto-molecule builders that like they referred to Miller referred to Holden and Abaddon's Gate as having a better connection to the substrate,
Mm,
which was just physical presence. Um, and I think like there's a continuation here where like Miller refers to it as the material transport network that he thinks humans can use. Um, but just like I guess we would never call it the material transport network. Like it's such
mm.
an interesting alien phrasing for it.
Yeah, true. The material, yeah, it's more of like a kind of a minecart carnage level
Yeah.
of Donkey Kong than like a city level, you know.
Yeah, and even just like I don't like it's just one of those funny things where like Miller calls it the material transport, and like I'm just I'm internet pilled enough, and I'm like that suggests that there's an non-material transport network, doesn't it?
Mm,
Um, which I mean, I guess we saw that like there's the weird pattern being put in the UV light, so maybe that's the non-material transport network. Like I don't, but it's just like, I just love how incomprehensible the proto molecule builders are.
yeah, yeah, totally. It's very inhuman.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. So Holden's apparently going to go and catch the subway at some point if Miller has anything to say about it.
Yeah. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Should we talk about our discussion? Well, we didn't really have a
Well,
discussion question,
yeah.
but none of our listeners were able to chime in and tell us what the rabbits
Well,
and
yeah.
frogs in the temple were.
The rabbits and frogs in the temple, we didn't know. Nobody knows. So that's fine. You know, whatever. We didn't know. Nobody else knows. It's probably just a weird specific thing they made up, I guess.
It felt like a literary reference, though, didn't it?
Yes, it definitely did. But anyway, I guess it's not. We do have a new discussion question for this week.
Yeah. We're wondering if you were in this kind of literal shitstorm, what role do you think you'd be the most useful in? So, like, I guess I'm kind of curious. What jumps out to me reading these chapters is we see Elvie like trying to find the cure for blindness, and people are on Death's Log patrol, and I'm just kind of sitting here like, man, I'm like a fucking software engineer. How would I be useful? Like, what could you contribute
Mm,
in this situation?
yeah, yeah. What an interesting question. I Do you have an answer to this, Elliot? I'm kind of thinking, and I'm like, I don't know that I'd be that useful in
No,
any of these catastrophes.
I mean, like at best, I could do some Death Slug patrol, but also I think I'm too much of
Yeah,
a,
true.
a soft little shit to be that useful on those.
I'd be there kind of talking to Holden, being like, all right, Holden, let's go out to this weird void spot. Come on, Holden, you and me, I'll go with you, kind of. And I'd be the cannon fodder. I know I'd die, but at least I'd get us towards the action, you know?
But Holden can't take anyone because if anyone's around, he can't talk to Miller.
That's fine. I'll wear A blindfold. I'd go blind anyway, so it's probably fine.
I
Hey, do you
don't.
think? Oh shit! When everyone goes blind, is Miller just going to show up?
Well, no, I think. Yeah. Fuck, good question.
Do you guys think if everyone's blind, will Miller just show up and he'll just be holding in Miller chilling while everyone else is blind? That's funny. Let's see.
Yeah. I mean, we'll probably see next week.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, because even like part of me is like, well, you don't have to have a relevant scientific thing to be useful here. Like, fires is useful, but like, I obviously like, I don't think I could provide LV the comfort she needed either. So yeah, I'm like fires, but without the magical dick, I guess. So yeah, like I'm curious if people have thoughts on how they could actually be useful as humanity gets eradicated from this alien planet.
Yeah. Who knows? That'd be a tough question to answer, but I look forward to seeing how everyone can justify their continued survival in the discussion thread. You can find those discussion threads linked in the show notes down below. You can leave your answers to the discussion question there, or just say hey. That's fine too.
Yeah, and don't forget to check us out on Blue Sky if you want updates to episodes. I think last week's was a little bit late, and I didn't post about it on Blue Sky, but I could have. So check that out.
Wow, yeah. Yeah.
Pretty good sell.
If you want to check out the other shows on the Duff Media Network, you can head to duffmedia.com. That's where you'll find all the shows and their release schedules, and also all the kind of other things that aren't podcasts but are happening, like Book Club, which just happened like yesterday, I think. And the new Book Club book looks very interesting. It's a book that they've already got a Anne Hathaway led adaptation of coming out soon, but it's about it's that book. I think I read about it when it came out, but I haven't read it yet, but I'll add it to my list but now that it's a Book Club book. It's about
Odyssey?
that no, not the Odyssey. Although again, no. It's called The Devil Wears Prada 2. It's great. No, it's that book about that Mormon tradwife influencer that then goes back in time and has to like put her money where her mouth is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is a very fun concept for a book.
Actually, so Anne Hathaway is on fucking fire at the moment because have you seen?
Because she's about to be in that dinosaur movie.
Yes.
Is that what you're about to talk about?
Oh, yeah, I saw the trailer for that yesterday.
Dude,
I was like,
I'm so hyped for that.
I know this looks
What's
like
it called? The House at the End of Oak Street. Or something?
I think it's just called The End of Oak Street.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I had this thing where I was just like, man, this is just a movie that like knows what it's doing, which is
it's for those 12-year-olds who grew up on Jurassic Park, which I know you were one of, Elliot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I saw this trailer and I was like, man, it's good every now and again to just get a movie that isn't trying to be anything more than it is. You know, like I'm glad we're getting shit like the Odyssey, and apparently the new Spider-Man is killing it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, like it's good to have like lots of reasons to be genuinely excited, but also sometimes I just want a movie that's like, hey, dinosaurs.
Hey, here's Anne Hathaway, who is a very good actress, fighting dinosaurs. And you're like, hell yeah, I'm down.
And Kenneth Branagh's her husband or something in it.
No, is it like Ewan McGregor or someone? Who is
Sorry, yeah, I always get those two mixed up.
Yeah. He's good too, but Anne Hathaway is like generational talent.
It's whichever one is the Obi-Wan in Star Wars.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, I genuinely can't tell those two apart. Anyway.
Oh, wait. And it's directed by David Robert Mitchell, who was the director of It Follows. That's crazy. I didn't know that. That makes me even more excited for it.
Yeah. But also, that's kind of funny because like that was a movie that was like one of the ones to get genuinely excited about because it did some really cool novel things. Whereas this one's just like, hey, dinosaurs. Like, appreciate a director who can do both.
Sorry, it's written and directed by him, which is good. I think he did that for It Follows too. So it's going to be like good, but then it's also produced by J.J. Abrams, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this.
No, I'm like, no, that's actually a good thing because like, if you want just like a mindless fun, J.J. Abrams delivers. I'm a big J.J. Abrams for movies that don't matter fan. Like he kind of bunged it with some of his first Star Wars movie ruled. It was his second one that was a flop.
Yeah,
and that was
I'm not too anti JJ. He's just the kind of person who, when his name is attached to something, you're just kind of like, I don't know.
Hey, as long as it looks like it's not trying to do a mystery that will have a good conclusion, and I don't think Enter the Vogue Street looks like it is. So.
The mystery is, wait, what are these things? And the answer is they're dinosaurs. And the trailer answers that mystery pretty clearly.
Well, the trailer maybe hints that the mystery could be how they ended up back in time, but
Yeah,
also,
but
like,
who
based on the
cares
trailer, I
about
didn't give
that?
a shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
So if that's the twist he's going to bungle, I don't give a shit. So it's fine.
Yeah. No, I do like that this movie probably started as it's just like It Follows, except it in this case isn't a STD
It's
demon, it's a dinosaur.
dinosaur.
I'm like, yeah, cool. You know what? I'm down for It Follows where it is a dinosaur this time.
It follows, but it's a dinosaur is a franchise I can get behind. I said, well, no,
Yeah.
this is just that it follows, but it is like X. Great franchise
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Also, sorry, like, this is a complete aside, and I know you have to go soon, but I just need to talk. So, I've been discovering the wide world of like shitty kids shows,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah,
have to tell
sure.
you about this one
Okay.
that we discovered last night called Dinosaur Train.
Oh yeah, it sounds like it's up your alley. Like I'm picturing
Yeah,
Infinity Train but with dinosaurs. I'm on board.
so you're weirdly close, is the
Yeah.
thing, but all the characters are dinosaurs,
Okay. Oh,
and
okay.
so basically it's about the plot focuses around a T
Should I look up
Rex.
a picture of it or no?
Oh yeah, if
Uh,
you want.
I kind of want to let myself just live in the world where I don't know exactly what it looks like and I can imagine the best
Yeah.
possible version.
Well,
So
it,
let's
it, it
live
looks
in that
like
world together.
it looks like a couple of 3D modeling students put it together in about
Mm,
20 minutes.
yeah. Okay.
Um, but and it's not the first show that I describe like that on Amazon. Like, Amazon has clearly found a niche for
Yeah.
themselves in
Yeah.
producing these really cheap kids
Well,
shows.
or they just like acquire cheap shit. I think. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But anyway, so Dinosaur Train is about a baby T Rex, and his name's Buddy, and he was
Nice.
adopted by a pterodon family because they found his egg in their nest.
Okay.
And so the plot of the show is that they're taking the dinosaur train to other parts of dinosaur world,
To look for his family or
to
something.
see if they can
Yeah.
figure
I
out what
getcha.
species he is, because they don't know he's a T Rex. He's obviously a
Right.
T Rex, but they
Yeah.
haven't figured that out.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's a musical show as well. So they
Oh, that's
constantly
cool.
they're
Okay.
constantly like singing about how they're going to ride the dinosaur train.
Yeah.
But, like, what really broke me, because it was just like
Jim
general, like,
Henson's dinosaur train.
yes,
Sorry.
yes. It's just made by his company. But
Sure. But they're
anyway,
not puppets. They're not
no,
puppets.
it's CGI. But anyway, it was like general kid slop up until the point. This is the part, like, what it really broke Jenny and I as we were watching the kids watch this for the first time. So they hop on the dinosaur train. There's all this stuff, like the dinosaur train conductor is like a velociraptor who uses his claw to like punch holes in the tickets, and you're like, that's cute, that's funny. And then they're taking the dinosaur train to see some dinosaurs with horns to see if maybe that's what this T Rex is.
Mm.
And they're like, "Oh, we're coming up on the train tunnel. Like, everyone get ready." And like, everyone gets really excited and sits down, and they're like, "We're going through the tunnel." And I was like, "Oh,
Mm.
okay." And then they go through the tunnel, and you know that scene in the old Willy Wonka movie?
Yeah. I was hoping you were going to say this. So what? It's like a psychedelic train tunnel of horrors.
Yes. And then they're like, "Yeah, this is the time tunnel. Everyone be careful." And then all the kids are like, this makes me feel so tingly. I like it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the adults are like, "Yeah, we're going to a different." And then they pop out at the end of the Cretaceous so they can see that. But like,
Oh, of course, because dinosaurs actually.
yeah.
God, that's cool that they didn't just like merge dinosaurs into one time period, but they're actually like trying to be like, yeah, even though they're on a fucking train through a time tunnel.
So
like,
the weirdest part of this show is extremely dedicated to using the scientific names for dinosaurs and being genuinely educational about them while they're talking and time traveling on a train.
that's so cool. I'm so on board with that.
It's the most like confusing experience to show, and I'm kind of into it just because like watching a little T-Rex go around and try to figure out what species he is with his sister, who is like a pterodactyl or a pterodon, and learning like genuine facts about all these dinosaurs as they're also going and experiencing the tingles of time travel. It's so fucking weird, man.
That's awesome, man. That sounds so good. You know what? All right, yeah. Doofcast special episode on Dinosaur Train.
Honestly, I think it would be fun to like do some little mini episodes on it, like, because just some of the weird shit kids shows are doing is like would be fun to talk about for like little 10-minute micro episodes like this.
There's you know,
Don't, don't get me started on Rainbow Rangers. Okay,
I'm obviously not in this group, but there is a pretty core contingent of Doof hosts who do have children. I mean, I guess maybe Matt's kids are like a bit too old for this type of thing, but you and Scott could do a show about this now.
Exactly. Because kids shows are doing some weird shit, and like, you know, like Bluey's good, but like when you get to the real bowels of kids TV, it's fucking funny.
And we do have a few people, like there are, I know from the Discord, by the way, if you want to join that Discord, you can go to doofmedia.com/Discord, I think, I don't know, or just doofmedia.com and there's a link there.
That Discord page is gone, but like there's a link to the Discord.
Just go to doofmedia.com and there's a link to the Discord. Just, you know, we are still in the outro here, so you better still just plug the things. But yeah, no, there are people on the, like, you know, we have a pretty solid chunk of listeners with kids, young kids on the Discord. I wonder if doing a review of kids TV shows from a parent's perspective would be a funny show. If you want that show to exist, go to patreon.com/doofmedia and I don't know, put it in your Patreon pledge. Is that a thing?
I think so. I think you can send a message when you sign up about why you sign up. But,
so do that.
Well, we'll be back to talk about more of The Expanse and see things get better for our humans on Ilus.
Yeah.
On the 17th of August, we'll be covering chapters 38 through to 44.
Yeah, Holden's going to ride the material transport, which, of course, is just the modern name for what the protomolecule used to call the dinosaur train. So, yeah, we'll be back to watch that happen next week, chapters 38 to 44. So, see you then.
I'm just going to be extra specific. There is an interlude after chapter 44. We're not doing that one.
Oh, okay, great.
So
thank you, Elliot.
Don't do the interlude after chapter 44. You stop right at the end of chapter 44.
Pre-interlude. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
See ya.